Hello and welcome to a video talking about the monthly Hero Selector Tickets. This is the Selector Ticket we're getting every month on the 24th day of the login campaign for the next few months until Gumi comes back and decides, hey, let's actually add in more event stuff every month. So in the meantime, we're stuck with this, which is actually not a bad ticket. There's some really good units on this ticket. So, but there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. But before we do so, I do want to point out that in the description down below, there are links to our Twitter page where you can follow us to get tweets on when we upload videos and when something silly happens during editing. Or you can just, message us on there and ask questions directly. All that fun stuff. So, yeah. There's also a link to our Discord server where you can join in, talk about Brave Frontier, get help with units, with squads, with content, anything in general concerning Brave Frontier. Or you can just, talk about it. Or anything in general, because there's a general chat as well. But with that out of the way, let's get into the first unit here. Berserk Ezra. Don't go for her. She's not a terrible unit, to be honest. She's actually not really bad. But she's a free unit, so she's not going to be as strong as other units in the game. However, you can just go and get her right now. Like, before you even spend the ticket. Like, just go to Memories in Azure and the Seasons Pass from 2019 to 2021 section. It's Memories in Azure, Crucial Cavern, and bam, you got yourself a Berserk Ezra. Easy as that. She's actually like a decent EXP lead. She's got 25% EXP boost on LS as well as item, karma, and Zell drop rate boosts. So, what more can I say? She's a decent free unit, but like, she's a free unit. Just go get her right now. The only reason why you might want to pick up more than one of her right now is for DBBs with Sunkissed Tillith and Kranos the Argent. Argent? I'll get more into that in a bit. Or if you have the 4 Berserk Ezras from the 7th anniversary stuff. Because you got one for logging in and one for completing Memories in Azure, and then 2 from the Event Bazaar. So this would be a 5th one. So if you want to do it for the meme, go for it. You have my full support there. I completely support doing things for the meme. But yeah, Ezra is like the weakest option on this list, simply because you can just go get her right now. Up next is the first of the summonable units, Kyria, who is the weakest of the summonable units because she's a mitigator. She has mitigation on her BBSBB, but she's outclassed by Sarah, Anya, and Shutong. She's a decent lead for elemental weakness damage. However, if you have Joshua, same story there. Like, Joshua just like does more stuff than Kyria as lead. So Kyria's just kind of outclassed by other units in general. So the only reason why you might want to pick her up is for the DBB with Gwell for Twilight. And that's really about it. So yeah, not a very strong units. She only has, I think it's a double attacking SPB, so not even triple attacking. If I'm wrong, future me would let you know, but I don't think I am. So yeah, Kyria, I can't recommend her like at all for any reason in particular. So yeah, you're not missing much if you skip out on her. Up next, we have Gwell, who's actually a decent dark lead. I've talked about Gwell in the previous 2 Hero Sector Ticket videos, but he's actually not as good as I thought he was at all. All the previous stuff that I mentioned before still applies. He's a good dark lead, providing, I want to say it's elemental weakness damage, and that's generic, so generic lead's pretty cool. He also provides BC on Spark on LS, which Dark has a really huge problem with BC on Spark. Which, yeah, you can fill that in with Vohu, getting that on SPB through enhancements. Or if you have Nox already, you can just use her BB. And there you go, you got BC on Spark. But having a neuter skill means that you actually get more damage out of your units, because then you don't have to use a BB to actually, get BC on Spark. However, the only thing that's different is apparently that triple attacking SPB with double single targeting. One of those single target attacks hits a random target. All hits of that attack hit the same target, but random who it hits. Which makes Gwell not consistent. Which is not good for your squads, because in order to actually do well, you need good consistency. So yeah, Guali doesn't help out with consistency, so not as good as I mentioned, but everything else from the other videos does still apply. Moving on, we have Carlos up next, who doesn't do a whole lot of himself, but Carlos, Mariano, Theresa, Gilbert, Sheena, and Vanessa, all 6 of them are from the same 6 batch of 6 units, who have DBBs with each other. So all these units, all 6 of these units have 5 DBBs alone, filling in every single DBB slot aside from double energy synergies. Energy synergies? Element synergies is what I meant. So like, you don't get Aurora, you don't get Blaze, you don't get Tsunami, you don't get all those. You do, however, get every single other DBB between the 6 of them. Sadly, Vanessa is not on this, but Carlos is, so he does help out fill in synergies for the other units, because, you know, it's nice to have access to every single synergy. So, yeah, despite not doing much of himself, he's a decent support unit, but he does have a triple attacking SBB, but one of those attacks is a random combo attack. So that's automatically really bad, and I'm not sure if I've explained this before, but random combo attacks aren't that great because they cannot crit, and they're inconsistent. So you're not getting consistent damage output because your combo attack is hitting at random. So yeah, random combo attacks are typically not a good thing. Decent for one bit of content, but we're not getting that right now, so Carlos is just there for the support, and that's pretty much it. Next up, we have Mariano. Pretty much the exact same thing I said for Carlos applies for Mariano, except Mariano is a little bit higher up because he does provide the Steam synergy with Sheena. And Sheena is a great unit, and having Steam synergy is really good. Steam is, it's busted, but it's not as busted as it once was, but it's still like pretty nutty once you get to like turn 5. So yeah, Mariano is really good for that, and that alone. Not much else to say. The next unit is Anara, who is decent support for water. She can be a mitigator, but she's a little bit outclassed, especially by Mary and Sydney, in my opinion. Then again, if you know me, if you're on the Discord server, you know that I really like Sydney, so that doesn't need to be said. But Anara is a little bit outclassed due to not having a triple attacking SBB. So if she had a triple attacking SBB, she'd be a little bit better. You could actually probably use her, but due to the lack of that, no, can't really recommend her all that much. But I can recommend her for providing the Steam synergy for Asha, which, much like Mariano, so with Mariano providing it for Sheena, that gives you good Steam synergy for water, and Anara providing it for Asha gives you Steam synergy for fire. So both Anara and Mariano are pretty much like on the same slots. Just, yeah, it's a little bit different. So yeah, Anara, not that great of a unit, but that Steam synergy is super nice, especially for fire. The next unit is Theresa, and this is where we start talking about actually good units I can recommend like to put on your squads. Theresa is like one of the best earth nuking units in the game. Not the best, but one of the best. Triple attacking SPB, hence nuking units. Great utility for having all of the earth synergies aside from whatever the double earth one is, because she's part of that batch with Carlos and Mariano. So every single earth synergy aside from that one is great. And if you need that one, there are plenty of other units you can get that synergy. So yeah, she's good for utility and just like in general as well. I talked about Theresa in a previous video, so if you want more information about Theresa, go watch that video. I think it's probably the last Hero Selector Tickets, like the Easter one. So yeah. Gilbert, same thing as Theresa, talked about him in the last one. However, I will reiterate some things. He has a nuking unit, which is really great. He has mitigation. He can have mitigation, which is really good. A nuking unit with mitigation. Yes, please. Decent Thunder Deed, providing, I think it's EWD. It's either elemental weakness damage or spark damage on LS added through enhancements. Part of that batch with Theresa, Mariano, and Carlos. So he has 5 DBBs, all of the Thunder ones except for Plasma. What more could you want? The only downside to Gilbert is that his attacking animations are a little bit on the slow side, so it's not as easy to spark as well with him. So bear that in mind. He's not as great, but he's still like a really good Thunder unit just for having so much utility and still being a nuking unit. So yeah, still really solid. On top of the fact that he has Cyclone. Cyclone is it's not as rare as it once was, but still a little bit of a rare synergy, especially on like really good units. The next unit to talk about is Sun-Kissed Tidith, and she is the highest damage dealing Earth Nuker in the game, tied with Sasha. Technically, she does more than Sasha, but Tidith does lack BC fell on Spark, whereas Sasha has it. So if you have both, bam, you're good. But Sun-Kissed Tidith does most damage, hands down, no question about that. 2 to 3 of her is recommended on a squad to have the maximum damage output for your squad, especially if you have Almighty. If you have Almighty, you got that BC on Spark. Sun-Kissed Tidith also has OD gauge fella on her SPB, which is really good for getting more and more of that Almighty UBB. And if you know anything about Almighty, you know that she's kind of busted. Plus, Tidith can have mitigation on her SPB. So if you're running, again, 2 or 3, you're going to have mitigation through one of your Tidiths. So, really solid unit. Definitely worth going for. Plus, she is the waifu. And the next slot, we have Sheena. So the reason why Tidith is not as high up is because she is an Earth unit, and Earth doesn't have as great of a lead as the other elements. Whereas Sheena is the lead you're looking for. Sheena is a great water lead, providing both elemental weakness damage and spark damage boost. However, technically speaking, Mary does provide more for both of those, I believe, if not one of those. But like, Mary's still a better lead than Sheena. But if you don't have Mary, Sheena's worth picking up for that reason alone. On top of the fact that she's a nuking unit with spark buffs on SBB. And again, she's part of that same batch as Gilbert and Theresa. So she's got all 5 water DBBs, all 5 water synergies that aren't Tsunami. So yeah, lots of utility, lots of nuking, lots of really good buffs going around. And again, if you don't have Mary, Sheena will fill in that slot for you for leader skill. So yeah, Sheena's a really good unit, can highly recommend her. The next unit is Asha. Asha is a great nuking unit for fire. She can provide mitigation on BB, but you're most likely just using her SPB because, you know, you're just going to get the most amount of damage out of that. She also she can provide recast on UBB as well, so that's pretty good. Plus, she's actually a good lead if you like Jiza or Mugen. Providing, I think it's elemental weakness damage or spark damage. One of the two. One of the 2 buffs you really want on your leader skill. She also provides crit damage boost, which is also pretty nice from capping that out. So yeah, Asha, really good unit. Really good damage output, pretty good leading skill. Plus, she's got that steam synergy with Inara, so definitely some shenanigans there. And I think she also gets Quake with Hypeia. I could be wrong about that. If I am, future me will let you know right now. And the last unit, and the unit I am picking up the month of this video goes out, Kratos the Argent. Argent? I don't know. Someone let me know in the comments down below. He is like the #1 unit to go for in my opinion, because he is the only light unit with extra action, making him super nutty, because extra action is busted. He has pretty much all of his spark buffs on his SPB, and I believe between his UBB and SPB, he's got nearly every single spark buff. He might be missing a few, but still really strong. Plus, he is one of the best nuking units for light at the moment, so definitely a good unit to go for overall. And he has somehow eluded me, so I'm definitely picking him up this month. And next month and the upcoming months, I'll pick up other units. But yeah, Kratos, super worth going for, especially if you have Master of the Hunt. or even if you don't, like, he's still like a good unit to go for in general. Just like having like really good spark buffs, and you can still like make use of a slower strat, a less optimal strat with extra action. But yeah, just really good. Definitely pick up Kranis. You will not regret it. And that about does it. To recap the top 5 in reverse order, we got Kranis the Argent at number 1, Asha at number 2, Sheena at number 3, Sunkissed at number 4, and Gilbert at number 5. The beautiful thing is, all 5 of those units are different elements. So if you want to like round out your squad because you're missing like 1 unit between those 5, but yeah, 1 unit, pick up one of those 5. Granted, yes, there's not a good dark unit on this summon ticket. Like, we got Berserk Ezra and Gwill, and they're like 2 of the units I don't recommend. Because we're missing Vanessa, and that makes me a little bit upset, but it's whatever. So 5 out of 6 units isn't that bad. Pick up whichever one you need. We're gonna get more of these tickets in the upcoming months, so definitely don't be afraid to pick up your favorite this month and like be more strategical next month. But that about does it. So yeah, thank you once again for visiting the Grand Guide Library. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye!